So we're back with the incomparable Miss Marla Gibbs,
Yes.
David Holmes,
Yes. Thank you.
and we're
Ernest L. Thomas.
Ernest L. Thomas,
Yes.
and no, I love what you're saying. The spirit, you tell the spirit, but you got to do your part.
Right, you got to do your part.
Yeah,
You know.
Yeah, and that's all that.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Yeah.
However, during the riots, there was a girl, a white girl that came through the neighborhood, and they ran up and they were rocking her car like to turn it over.
Mm-hmm.
And she said, "Get me out of here! Get me out of here!" And they stopped and went to the car behind her. And she drove up to the companion set in the car. She said, "Oh yeah, you can do that. You can tell God what you want." So I ran out of gas and my car stopped. And I was on La Brea. And I said, "Get me out of here! Get me out of here!" I was up by Stalker on La Brea.
Yeah.
All I had to do was get across the street and go down to the gas station because I ran out of gas.
Yeah.
And I said that, and this man pulled around. He said, "What's the matter? You having car trouble?" I said, "Yes." He said, "What happened?" I said, "I ran out of gas." I said, "Nah, he gonna drive off." He said he got out of his car, and I was in the fast-moving lane,
Oh.
and I'm stuck.
Mm-hmm.
And people got to go. He got out. He directed everybody around me. He said, "Do you have AAA?" I said, "Yeah." I gave him the card. He called them. They came. He stayed with me till they came,
Oh.
and they put gas in the car. And then he said, "Okay, have a nice day." And he was a policeman.
Oh.
Oh, look
So
at
I
that.
said, "Now he gonna give me a ticket." He said, "Listen, it happens to everybody."
Absolutely.
And he went on,
Wow.
and I went down and got my gas. So I was doing a play with Donald.
Oh,
So I
okay.
called him, and I got his card, and I called him and his wife
Okay.
to come to the play, so
Okay.
they came to the play. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
But I mean, the love is there. People are there.
Yes,
Mhm.
yes.
And, you know, God is the one who sends these things, but he also sends you the adversities.
Right.
You know, so you have to thank everything
Yeah.
that happened,
Yes.
because even though you didn't like it, it prepared you for something.
Yes.
Come on.
You know,
Yes.
it was a
Yes.
teaching thing,
Yes.
you know.
Yes.
We
I'm
wanna
glad
win
you went
like
there
the
because I was
rest.
going to ask about how important God is in your life. And I know we haven't had anyone to say it wasn't. I said, one of these days you're going to have someone say, "Look, I don't believe." And I said, "Well, you do good works or you do something."
Well, you have a choice. You can believe it or not
Yeah.
believe it. It's
Yeah.
on you.
Yeah, that's right.
It's done to you
That-
as you believe.
That's
Yeah.
right. Well, I
And
believe.
see, we're all one, so we have to stop talking about white folks.
Yes.
If they talk about us, that's their business.
Yes. Yes.
But we can't do that.
Yes.
right,
you know.
Yes, baby.
We're
Yeah.
all one,
Yes.
It's only
Yes.
one race.
Yes.
and so that's the way we have to behave.
Yes. Yes.
So we stop all the negative. So I can't talk about Donald Trump. I can't.
I know.
Yeah.
We don't
I may
engage
not
in that.
approve of
Yeah,
or like what he
right.
does,
Right.
but I cannot judge him.
Right.
right.
Yes.
That's right.
And that's why I said people have gotten. I don't know if you noticed it, Marla, but it's like people who are. I mean, I know Christian folk. All right. One friend who I go to church with, and he shocked me because when Donald Trump won, he put on Facebook that he hoped a bullet would find them at the inauguration.
Wow.
And like, what's going on with you, man?
Yeah.
That's
Wow.
like Jesus. So you so in love with Hillary Clinton, you want the man to be shot dead,
Wow.
and he still wasn't trying to apologize about it. He still was in this.
He said, "Yeah, I said it."
vindictive- Yeah, I said it. So what?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, I just couldn't believe this person I go to church with all the time. That he, you know, like I don't know that person.
But see, Jesus was not a Christian.
Yeah, that's right.
He was not.
Right.
That's
That's
You
right.
know, he did not write the Bible.
That's right.
That's right.
That's right.
People wrote the Bible. They said yes, but he inspired it. Yeah, but that's why you have so many contradictions. you know what I'm
Yes.
saying?
Yes. Yes.
Because everybody's writing from their point of view
Point of
and
view.
what they think it should be,
Yes.
as
yes.
opposed to what he said it is.
Yes.
You know?
Yes. Yes.
So
Yes.
we have to be careful. So I just try to deal with the love and the forgiveness.
That's it, though.
You know,
Yeah.
it's just as important to forgive as it
Yeah.
is to love.
And that's, you know, and that's why I said there was Jesus Christ who taught all this love, and then everyone had an opinion about it, and you got all these denominations, but
And then they try to make rules about
and
it.
make rules.
Yeah, you got to do this.
Yeah,
and you got
if you don't do it this
so they're
way.
taking away your free choice already.
Yes. Well, you know, I was in our church, Kojic. Now it's changed. I'm Kojic now, but now they have Stevie Wonder and entertainers. But at that time, you weren't allowed to be an entertainer. And I was telling these kids, you know, God will give you a word separate from, you know, because that church is not God. You know, and that theology is not God. But it's like, here I was. I mean, yeah, I didn't like being not liked, and they tell me going to hell. And Denise Williams, they tell her the same thing. You know, and they caught on later that it's okay to be an entertainer, but they were telling us then, oh no, you going to hell.
Yeah.
So like you said, again, that was a rule they had, and had I listened to that, I wouldn't be sitting here talking to you.
Because they want you to stay there with them.
Yes,
You know?
yes.
Yeah.
And then they want to be the top.
Yes, yes.
Don't be going out there.
Yes,
With
yes,
those
that
folks,
world,
you know.
yeah. Well, we have to talk about, we got time for the Jeffersons?
Yeah. Oh yes.
Okay.
We got yes.
The Jeffersons, people don't understand. The thing that's so phenomenal about the Jeffersons and this, you know, first had the first interracial marriage that was on there as well, you know.
Yes.
A black man who had his own business and an achiever. I mean, he was not, and smart.
Yes.
And confident, you know,
Yes.
had a swagger about
Yes.
him, you know.
Yes.
And
didn't back
and then
down.
like that, but it ran for 11 years, I believe.
11 seasons.
11
10
seasons.
years, 10 and a half years.
10 and a half years. I mean, and it was, I remember when it was #1 in the nation.
Right.
And I mean, these
And
were
they
the
were trying to cancel it.
They was?
Before it became #1. They said they wanted me to do a spin-off, and I said no. They said no. They said, look, the Jeffersons it's not going to be on that much longer. I said, listen, every place I go, people love the Jeffersons.
Right.
I said, you keep moving us, stop moving us, put us in one spot, and if you're not going to help us, leave us alone.
Right.
They put us on a Sunday. They left us there, and we were shot to #1.
Oh, that's what, cause I remember y'all was so hot.
I would not leave.
That's good. That's good for you, Marla.
They thought, what's wrong with
Good
that?
for you.
Yes.
I said, I'd rather be #9 on the hit than #1 on the flop.
Oh,
Come on.
that's so smart. Yes,
Come
they
on.
appealed to your ego, and it didn't get
Yeah.
invited. I love that.
Yeah.
No, and if you leave to do your own show, you better have some idea what you're doing.
Right.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
because
Oh, wow.
if you don't, you're at the mercy.
Yes.
You know.
Yes. Yes.
And if it don't take off right away, you going.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. I remember that because it was so popular. The reruns were #1. You know, it's one thing when it comes on Michigan, but I remember one time your rerun was still hit #1, and that's why I was like, I went down there trying to get a job, but my first job was on the Jeffersons.
Right.
But when what's happening? Yeah, I did. I hit a thief on there. But yeah, I played a thief. And Sherman Hemsley and was like, I don't think you was in. You were not in that episode, or not. I didn't have
Now, the first year, I did the first one. I was just a guest.
Oh,
That's all
okay.
I was supposed to do.
Okay.
But they liked me, so they brought me back for the 5th show.
Oh.
And then they brought me back for the 8th show.
Oh.
And then they offered me a contract
Ah.
for the next season.
And that made. So how is that
Yes.
someone you know, or is that?
That's something we all know. White folks, black folks, everybody knows.
True. Yeah.
That's very
He
true.
comes in your house and takes over.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
It becomes her kitchen.
Right.
Get out of my kitchen. What are you doing? I just struggled for them. And I saw them, you know, and so they didn't take no stuff.
Oh, that's right.
You know?
That's right.
It wasn't like what you saw in the movies.
Yeah,
before.
yeah. Yeah, you that was just, I mean, but your tone, your look, everything, you
Yes.
know, was, and the chemistry between you and
George.
George
Yeah.
was so great, man. The
See,
chemistry.
people don't realize that George was the one who wanted me. Isabel did not want me to work. George was the one who wanted the maid because the Willises had a maid.
Ah.
So he wanted the maid.
Okay.
And so she tried to make it hard. She said, I got a lot of windows and they have to be watched at least once a month. I said, once a month? I said, I'll do your windows, but not no once a month. I'll do your windows every week. And Joy said, see that? She's hired. Everything she said, I went over the top.
Oh, man. Oh.
He was the one that hired me. But then he got on my nerves. And he was a lot of fun to work with.
I was gonna say you guys had to have so much fun just doing the show, just behind the scenes, and I know. Oh, I can't even
He
imagine.
would come in sometime. He said, Marla, I don't know my lines. I said, yes, you do. He said, no, I didn't study. I said, that's okay, you know. I said, when we read the lines for the first time, your mind took a picture of them. And they in there, but they can't come out because you keep saying you don't know.
Wow.
So you know your lines?
Yeah.
So he said, I knew that. I said, when I say something, just say something that makes sense, and when your lips stop moving, I'll start talking. Okay?
Oh, I love that,
And
Marla.
So that's what we did.
Oh, wow.
Oh my God.
Now that's chemistry.
Yes, yes. And I think everyone, you all had, and I don't want to. I know there wasn't any jealousy.
Not
and all that
really.
stuff. Okay. And I that's why I felt what I saw was a
See, what
family.
we understood was Isabel was the star of the show.
Okay.
Everybody
Okay.
thought Sherman was, but Isabel was the star of the show.
Oh.
And so we always acted like your liege. They would say your liege, and I'd say your leggy. So we would bow to the queen.
Oh.
And we
Okay.
didn't do that with Sherman.
Right.
And
Okay.
he never wanted that or acted like that.
Oh man.
And speaking of training, my daughter is a coach.
Okay.
Oh.
She called me one day. She said, guess who just called me? I said, who? She said, Alejandro. She said, I love him. She said, he wants me to come and work on his film. He was doing Birdman.
Oh.
He wanted her to work with Michael Keaton.
Oh.
So he sent her out to Michael Keaton's house. And Michael Keaton was fine with it.
Oh.
So-
Wow.
So she can't say she coached Michael Keaton.
Yeah.
Right.
But she collaborated with him.
Okay, yes,
okay.
yes.
And then they asked him if he needed her to come to New York when they were shooting. He said yes, he needed her to come.
Oh.
So she went to New York. She was on the set while they were doing so. Alejandro with Angela. He would take her to the side. Did you tell him that? Did you tell him that? I told him that.
Oh, wow.
So when he got
I
ready
didn't
to
know
do Revenant, he called her again.
Wow.
Yeah.
But I didn't know she
But
was.
I didn't know that
was
she
a coach.
that. Yeah, I mean
Oh,
that's
yeah.
she is a
Okay.
She did.
That's it.
power player coach.
That's
you
it.
know.
So then he told one of his producer friends about her to hire her, that she was a genius.
She is.
But then they didn't pick up the thing, so
Oh.
she didn't get to do that.
She gonna get some other great stuff.
Absolutely.
Though, yeah. But
Oh,
when you
yeah.
doing it on that level, what you just said.
Michael.
Yeah.
I mean,
She
Michael
coaches
Keaton.
the
said
other
that.
day all day and does her. Of course, she plays Miss Tootie on Black Jesus. You know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Miss Tootie is.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that. I have to watch that. Like Jesus. Okay.
uh,
Miss Tootie, I'm gonna go
Yeah.
check it out.
It'll be coming
Netflix.
back on maybe September. I don't know when they come.
Okay, Miss Tootie.
You never
Yeah,
know what
Miss
they're
Tootie.
doing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
I
she
didn't know.
plays Black Jesus. I mean, Miss Tootie on
Miss
Black
Tootie.
Jesus.
Okay.
So she
That's
got so
awesome.
popular. I was in the grocery store and they said, I know your daughter, Miss Tootie. I said, oh, really? Miss Tootie got a reputation.
Yeah.
And she works in
She's-
Florence.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Now, did your sons go into it, the show business at all?
Dorian wrote a 227 episode. And he did an extra on 227.
Okay.
Okay.
Rubber Trees, they came in with it. But he did the show where this magician
Okay.
was in, and everybody was wanting, people would go in and never come out because he was changing makeup,
Oh.
you know. So Him and his friend wrote that.
Oh.
And his friend is now a director.
Oh, that's
Okay.
great.
Yeah.
That's great.
So when I did Blackish, he was
That's right.
That's right.
he was directing on that.
Okay.
His name's not coming to me right.
So now, what role did you play on Blackish?
Yeah, that's what I was on the side.
I'm what's her name's mother?
Tracy. No,
Father.
the father. Oh,
Andrews?
no.
I'm Anderson's grandmother. Lawrence Fishburne.
Lawrence
Okay.
Fishburne's
I'm
mother.
his mother.
Oh,
Okay.
But I'm Anderson's grandmother.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh
So
man.
most of the scenes I've had has been with Anderson.
Oh, okay. That's
Ah.
great. Great show.
Yeah.
You hitting them all. You know.
Just getting
Right.
started.
Yeah.
Just getting
That's
started.
right.
That's what it
Oh,
is.
my.
That's that vibrating
That-
That's
30.
that vibrating on 30, that's right.
And that's the thing about this business. Like we were saying, it's never too late. I
Right.
mean, you can be in your bed. You can be at 100 years old and have a scene
That's
and
right.
get it off. You know.
Yeah.
So I wanted to ask, what brought when you started the whole supper club and all that? What was
Right.
that? What brought that? Was there a vision you had?
Well, one of the
or-
musicians said, everybody was saying jazz was dead. And I said, how could our music be dead?
Hmm.
So and two ladies had come to me when we were on Vermont in the Crossroads. And they said, Miss Gibbs, we said if anybody know, you would know, where is a nice place in the community where we can go for dinner and lunch when our folks come to town.
Hmm.
And I couldn't think of one. I always sent them out to the marina,
Mhm.
to the warehouse,
Yeah.
and places like that. So one night I was up in Hollywood. I was living in Las Vegas then, and I was up in Hollywood, and I called my friend, and I said, I want to go to the movie. The movie we wanted to see was something with. It was a popular movie, but I hadn't seen it yet.
Okay.
And so she said, yeah, I would like to see that. So we drove up and down and we couldn't find it. And we ended up at Hollywood and Wilton.
Okay.
So I took Wilton. So I said, well, let's go get something to eat. So we decided to go to Memory Lane
Okay.
because O.C. Smith was there. I said, let's go hear O.C. Smith and have dinner. So she said, okay. So we got down to the lane and they said, well, dinner is over. But they went back and talked to the chef, and she said she'd be happy to make you a chicken dinner if you. I said, that would be great. So we went in the dining room, and we were eating the chicken dinner. And here comes Larry Hearn. He came through the back door because he lived next door. Came through the back door, and he walked through the dining room, and he saw me. He said, what you doing? I said, oh, nothing. So he asked me 3 times. And the third time I said, well, at that time I was planning to open a coffee shop where I was on Vermont,
Oh, okay.
upstairs on the 3rd floor. We thought we could do some music up there and have jazz.
Okay.
But the planes came over and the architect said it just wouldn't work without putting a whole lot of money in.
Right.
So 3rd time I said, well, I'm thinking about opening a little club. He said, well, why don't you buy this one? I said, oh, Larry, you ain't gonna sell the club. He said, yes, I will. He said, I'm sell it. He said, I'm gonna sell it, somebody gonna pay me. He said, everybody wanna buy it, but they ain't gonna pay me.
Hey.
So he also said he was selling the house next door with it. So I said, okay. So I made a down payment to buy the house next door,
Okay.
with a contingency to buy the club. So I called the architect. He said, yeah, well, now this is more like it. And I decided to go on and buy it. So that's how it happened that I bought it. Because Larry said he was ready to give it up. And at the time, I didn't know it, but he had Dobermans watching the club at night. So he would lock them up in the club. And they would shit everywhere. So you kept smelling stuff. You kept thinking you were smelling the toilet.
him.
Yeah.
Wasn't nobody gonna come in there.
Now we're
So I said,
doing
well, no, I
it.
can't keep the Doberman. So,
Yeah,
I bought the security system. And then I redid the whole club.
Oh man.
I remodeled that club.
She
3
evicted the
times.
Doberman. She evicted them.
I evicted the
I think this is a job for security system. Do some electrical wiring around this bad boy.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
but that's how I ended up with the club.
Okay. In the performing arts school, was that something you...
Yeah.
That was something
arts.
Angela started.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
She went to Howard with Shea Wafer, and they were roommates.
Okay.
And she said, we want to start a performing arts school. I said, well, I'm opening a club. I can't do both.
Oh,
Right.
So she said, well, you don't have to because me and Shay can do it.
oh.
I said, oh, okay. So they started it.
Okay.
And so Angela the one that started Crossroads.
That's
Yeah.
right. Crossroads. That was the name.
Yeah.
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 So we started Crossroads over there. And I just came on to pay for stuff. And they just,
Yeah.
and so then they produced a play with Denzel. But no, Denzel came,
Yeah.
yeah, they before me. Denzel did a play there, which was nice. And they did 2 or 3 plays, and then they did 227.
Okay.
You know, that was Christine Houston.
Oh,
So
okay.
Ed Cambridge wanted to do that,
Okay.
and then they asked me would I play a part in it. So I said yes. And then they brought Hal in because Hal was close to Ed Cambridge.
Okay. Yeah.
So
I love
And
him. We just
Regina.
went back to Hal. Yeah.
Regina came, and Helen Martin.
Helen
No, Helen
Martin.
didn't Martin come. I'm sorry. It wasn't Helen. We had a man first, Art Evans.
Oh,
Played the
really?
blind man in the window.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And he would get a kick out of finding things to do being blind that you wouldn't think a blind man would do. He'd do all kinds of shit in the window. That was funny.
Oh man.
Hey, before we go any further,
Okay.
we want to take a quick break. You're here with Ernest L. Thomas, Marla Gibbs, and me, David Holmes, and you're watching What's Happening in Daily News. So we'll be right back.